Hey, welcome to my channel. I'm Elma. Happy New Year! I am back. Listen, okay, I was just living my best life in Europe. I was just consuming all the milk, even though I'm lactose intolerant. Just enjoying the food, you can probably tell. Enjoying family, enjoying people I hadn't seen in a while. Just enjoying the culture as well. Here I am with my best of beauty 2021. And the thing that's quite particular with this is since I was away for a month, I decided to pack all the makeup I would consider my best of beauty and just put them through a last ringer of like, okay, I'm only stuck with you. Am I pleased? Am I displeased? And I can truly say that apart from one product that like I didn't take with me because of, I'll talk about it later, but packaging, all this in here, totally my best of beauty. So if you want to, know what it is, let's get right into it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe if you haven't done it already. And yeah, I gotta tell you something that I could do.
I gotta tell you something I could do.
So here's the thing. All the products mentioned in this video will be linked in the description box, 1. And 2, there are probably some repeats from last year, and that's simply because on ne change pas une équipe qui gagne. We don't change a team that is winning. So, and also like I didn't really buy a lot of things last year, though I still managed to make rouge. Anyway, let's get into it. So the first things I'm gonna be talking about are 3 brow products. So the way I like to do my brows, I like starting off with a wax, and the one I love the most is by the So Brow by Westbarn & Co, and it's kind of like this clear wax that you just have to like wet with either water. I tend to wet mine with some setting spray and then just going with a brush and brush through my brows. One thing I really love about it is that it really gives definition to my brows as well as really sets it in place, and I think it also adds a little bit of thickness because I feel like my brows, they're just not like flat. There's dimension to it. Also has to do with the fact that I'm using 2 different types of products to do my brows. So I love the Precisely My Brow by Benefit, and this is in shade number 4. And what I love about it is that it is super duper fine. It has a whole bunch of colors. The spoolie also on the side is really nice, and this just really gets in there, and the consistency of it and what I enjoy about it is that it's not too waxy and you can really get in there and draw brows onto your eyebrows, but it's kind of like soft. So when you want to add that like extra dimension and that illusion of hair-like strokes, that's where my other favorite comes in, and this is the Brow Flick by Glossier, and this is in brown and it's quite dark actually, which is perfect because like now I have braids and everything, but when I was like more blonde, maybe I should have gone for like a lighter color to maybe kind of like lighten my brows. But this is amazing, super long lasting, waterproof, creates like amazing hair like strokes, and the tip of it is really super duper fine, and this combination just makes for amazing brows that are not only like beautiful and have dimension to them but also super long lasting. So yeah, I'm gonna go in with my favorite eyeshadow primer, and it has not changed. I've repurchased it again, and it's the Fenty Beauty Pro Filter Amplifying Eye Primer. This primer, you've heard me ramble about it, but it's truly just like my favorite primer because it just allows for my eyeshadows to stay on for a really long time. It stops creasing, and the consistency of it is really nice because you really do feel like it kind of like adheres your eyeshadow to the eye, so it's like not moving. And also because it melts into like clear type texture, whatever eyeshadow you're wearing, you don't have any like weird little cast or anything. For like an everyday eyeshadow primer, or just like an eyeshadow primer that you won't go wrong with, this is it. And I also want to maybe even go to the extent that I find that sometimes it kind of helps shadows that are a little bit lacking. That's something I've realized. So this primer is one that doesn't even make me want to try any other eyeshadow primers because I'm just like, well, I'm just happy with this one, so why would I go for that? But if there are any eyeshadow primers you think that I should try out there, definitely let me know let's help each other out. We're talking about eyeshadow palette. So I just have one to share with you, and I have a top 5 neutral eyeshadow palettes you should definitely be checking out, especially if you're brown skin, that you might want to see. I'm gonna link it in the cards up here. I thought to myself, if I was stuck with one eyeshadow palette that could do a whole bunch of different things yet still cater to my basic babe attitude, which one would it be? And I went for the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. I know that this is not a new one and it's an expensive one, and who knows, it might even be discontinued this year because it's really old style of eyeshadows, like the packaging and all that. However, this eyeshadow palette is amazing. One thing I really love about this eyeshadow palette is that it has a whole bunch of neutrals like browns and loads of matte colors that are perfect for like my skin tone, transition, all that. So even if you're just into like very simple makeup, this eyeshadow palette will do that for you. However, why I chose this palette is especially because of the fact that it has, and the thing is, I have brown eyes, and the color I actually have on here is this one that you see over here. One thing I really love about this eyeshadow palette is really the pops of greens and blues, which really are amazing for people who have brown eyes especially. It's one of those colors that really make your brown eyes pop. Can you tell? Like, look at that. You know what I mean? So this is that palette, and one thing about Natasha Denona that never fails is the consistency and the texture and how her eyeshadows perform. And in these, I think that she, you know, I'm not an expert in Natasha Denona. However, I do know, like, I do remember certain things that pop up, like, from like, oh yeah, that's how it was promoted. But like, I think that in here there are a couple of formulas, like this one, and this one, that are like really, and maybe even this one that are like, and this one that are really like very creamy formulas. I would say especially this one, because like when I was applying it to the corner, like it really did glide, and they're just like the texture, everything, how it pops up on the skin, I think is an amazing palette. And it is expensive. However, if there's a sale or something like that, definitely keep an eye out, because it's one of those palettes that you can do a whole bunch with it. Plus, it comes with a mirror. Do I wish that there wasn't this little plasticky thing? Yes, I do, but at least it keeps my mirror clean, and it is a very travel friendly. I had it in this like carrying case. I'll link it in my description box if you're interested, and I just glided it in here, and it just did its little thing. So this eyeshadow palette, really amazing. There are some other really great eyeshadow palettes that did come out this year, but for me it was really this one, because it could honestly just cater to my soft glam needs and my pow in your face. Like for Christmas I had like this really beautiful red smoky eye going on with like a neutral lip. Oof, it was beautiful. That was fabulous, and it stayed on all night because I didn't go to bed until like 6 a.m. but you know, amazing palette. Is a mascara. So my favorite is the Hourglass Unlock Instant Extension Mascara. I just wish Hourglass, you should do better, because you guys have amazing products. And what I love about this Hourglass mascara and all of your mascaras that they've come out with in the last, you know, 2-3 years, there's something about this that really like extends them, that gives it some volume, and that is really black. And one thing I love about this mascara especially is how it removes. Like, it's not one of them that when you're crying it's like all over the place and like you have like black lines like just streaking down your face. It's kind of like in more of a putty form. I don't know if putty is the right word, but like it kind of like crinkles away, and it's just much more fun to remove or even to maintain than your regular mascara. So this is really nice. Plus the brush on it really does an amazing job at separating each lash. Plus I find that 2 coats really does it for me, and I have like really tiny lashes to begin with, so I imagine that if you're blessed with like super long lashes, this would do an amazing job. So I highly recommend you check this out. Off is actually quite interesting putting it in this, because we didn't start off well. I think I even actually ended up returning it at some point. Fenty Beauty eyeliner is my favorite eyeliner of the year. There's something about it it, and I think it's just the way that it is so black, and the liner would last you the whole day. You can cry, do what you want, and it's gonna stay on. And I think that's the beauty of Fenty Beauty, is that when it comes to longevity, it's not only do they think about inclusion in their products, but they also think about longevity of the product on your face. Like, it's something that's gonna fade away, you know, super duper fast, something that can really keep you going from 9 to 5, which is really amazing. And the tip on this is really nice as well. It's really fine, quite bendy, so very flexible, and but still quite rigid, so you can really create really nice, beautiful, sharp lines, and very fine, so you can really get in there and create like really thin lines. So I really love this. Was like my best eyeliner of 2021. So next off, we're going to be moving on to the face, and we're going to start off with primer. And I think that this primer also made it to my best of beauty 2020. Listen, if it works, it works. And that is the Tatcha the Liquid Silk Canvas. This initially came out in a putty form, and I know that my dry skin babes enjoy that thoroughly. However, for me, even though it was like a great product, it was quite drying, and I was just like, oh, it would be amazing if they came out with this liquid. And they did do that a couple years back, and it is amazing. I think it's like a moisturizing primer that's also blurring, which is kind of a mind bend, because usually when someone says it's blurring, dry skin babes usually, you know, run the other direction. But this just gives you that really beautiful, silky, smooth canvas to begin with. Even if you don't have pores, or like you have dryness is your issue or stuff like that, this is amazing for that. And it really helps your makeup not only stay on for a really long time, but also for the application of your makeup to just look flawless. Like, honestly, no filters, just skin, and it's just really beautiful. And the thing is, this product is actually multifunctional. You can use it on your eyes as well as a primer if you wish, but I mostly use it as, like, you know, a face primer. Know if I should put this in the primer category, but it's definitely one of those like skin enhancers, highlighters, and it's none other than the Auric Glow Lust, which is Samantha Ravindell's makeup brand. So they actually are celebrating, or they celebrated their 1-year anniversary like this week, and they came out before the end of last year with an extra Glow Lust shade, and it's actually this one in Sunstone. I own 3 of these, and I'll be going into more details about this, but I do have an initial review of that along with her like eyeshadows that you can definitely check out. But yeah, this one is in Sunstone, which is a bit more adequate for my skin tone. One was too light and a bit olivey, the other one was a bit too dark and a bit more bronzy, and this one is just right. And this can be compared to the Hollywood Flawless filter from Charlotte Tilbury. However, I still do feel its difference. What this is basically a glowing primer complexion product, because like you cannot just wear any one of them. Like, it's not that transparent. It does have a tint to it, and it just like enhances the look of your skin, and the combination of these two is just wonderful. So usually what I do is I have this on all over my face, and then I put some of this on the high points of my face on my more like glam days. But if on a no makeup day, I just use this on its own, or just use it as a highlighter on its own when I don't want to be beaming or anything. I don't know how else to explain this. It's really that like an illuminator that I recommend. It's so beautiful. It just gives you like really beautiful glowing skin from within. It's like how you get like a glow from within basically, and or a topper enhancer for like the high points of your face. Next is a foundation, and I didn't try a whole bunch of foundations this year. It was mostly like skin tints and stuff like that. However, one foundation that stood tall amongst the rest was the Huda Beauty Full Filter Foundation. I do have a full review of this foundation on my channel, so you know, check it out. It will be in the card. And one thing I love about this foundation is that it is super long lasting. It is buildable. It gives you like a really beautiful natural finish. If you don't know, I do have dry skin, and the thing is, I like a foundation that is medium coverage. Like that's where I like to stand with my foundations, and if they can give me a little bit of extra build, I don't say no to that, especially for those pesky little spots. But now I just like, as you can see, cover them with freckles or some sort of thing like that. But yeah, the Full Filter by Huda Beauty is one of those foundations that is so comfortable to wear, that lasts you such a long time. There's an amazing shade range as well, and it's just easy to use because it's in a stick and it's in a cream. And because I have dry skin, when it comes to stick foundations, I'm not usually this lucky. It's usually quite drying, and you don't get that with this at all. Like, it's really don't think about it kind of foundation, and when you set everything right, it's not moving anywhere. You're not even getting like that much transfer onto your mask, so that's good to know. So next up, I'm going to be talking about concealer, and I have two here for you. So first is the Rare Beauty Liquid Touch Concealer in 360W, which is really close to my actual skin tone. It just conceal, not necessarily brighten under the eye, and I really love it because it's very comfortable under the eye. It's not drying, it does not crease, and it does a really good job at covering up my under eye. And to be fair, I do not have like really dark circle under my eyes or stuff like that, but it does a good job of brightening that area but still making it look smooth and all that good stuff. However, I do like to pair it up with the next concealer, which is technically an eye brightener from Fenty Beauty, which is the Bright Fix, and this color is in Deep Butter. And what I like to do is actually mix these two together, and there's something that happens, which is this, which is super duper amazing, that just stays on for ages. I don't know how to explain it, but the combination of these two is amazing. The one thing I would say, however, is the packaging on the Bright Eye is shit. They need to like rethink it, or just give us a doe foot applicator like they did for the Pro Filter concealers. That was amazing. But apart from that, love the formula of this. Super nicely blendable. I've never really blend with my fingers, but it's one of those that I don't mind, like, just because of the way the packaging is made. I find myself going in and just blending it out under my eyes, and the combination of these two is just like freaking amazing. To set all that, I've gone back to an oldie but a goodie. Pink setting powder under the eye is the best thing. Like, okay, yes, banana powder, amazing. Slightly tinted pink, like that's where it's at. And for me, it's the Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Baking and Setting Powder. Honestly, I don't bake anymore. However, when I add this to my under eye, and because this combination is not super harsh, the combination of these three just call for a really beautiful under eye. And even like in photos, it looks bright but not overly bright. It just like sets so beautifully, and it's like super smooth, and I'm just happy. I usually just go in with a kind of like tapered brush like this, and I'm good to go. This setting powder is truly amazing. Okay, so next up, I'm gonna be talking about my powder, like setting powder. I don't know what to call it, just like a regular powder, not like baking under eye powder. And the thing about that is this, okay, so most of, if not all of the foundations I go for are usually radiant-y like, and you've seen it from all I've been showing you. I love to glow, and the thing with powders sometimes is that you feel it on your skin and it just takes away from the glow. However, what I love about this powder, and it's from Kosas, by the way, sorry, it's the Cloud Set, and this is in the shade Pillowy, which is really amazing. So the one thing I love about this powder is like you do not feel it on your skin. It does set everything in place. You feel set, but you don't feel like cakey, and the thing is, it doesn't take away from the glow. This powder is really amazing. Like, you do not feel it on the skin. Like, it's one of those that you put it on, you go, does the business, and you're good to go. Talking about bronzer and contour, and the thing is this, when you're looking for a contour, usually you want something that's kind of like cool tone to mimic those shadows that you want to create, you know, structure in your face, right? Whereas bronzer, you want it to be a little bit warmer and just give you that glow like you've been in the sun. And the thing is, I don't usually like products that are like 2-in-1 because it's never enough. However, I don't know how Patrick Ta did it, but the cream contour and bronzer duo is one of those that's really amazing. I already really did enjoy his cream powder duo for the blush, and this I always find myself grabbing for, not only because is it convenient, but because of how it's formulated. So up here you have a cream contour that is nicely separated by a little plasticky thingy, which I love because that way your powder cannot get into your contour, and your contour doesn't dry out either. And at the bottom over here you have a powder bronzer. And what I love about products, especially made by makeup artists, is that they tend to build up rather than have like smack bam your face and then, you know, you're blending for hours. It's more, you tend to have products that are more buildable coverage. And what I love about this is like you get that, but not only is it buildable, but if you do need to build it up, you're not doing so for like hours and hours. Like there is pigment in here, so you want to go in lightly, but don't fear of being excessive. And the cream formula on this is so nice. It's like super duper creamy, blends into the skin really beautifully, and the bronzer at the bottom is super duper smooth. It also has tiny minuscule like little specks of shine in there, so you really do feel like you've been in the sun. Next up, I'm gonna be talking about blush, and I don't know if because of the panorama, but I've really been into cream blushes way more. And there's something about cream blushes recently, there's been way more cream blushes, way more choices. The Soft Pinch Liquid Blush by Rare Beauty is one that just stays winning for me, and this is in the color Joy. And one thing I love about the Soft Pinch by Rare Beauty is like you have some that are luminous and you have some that are matte. So Joy is one of those that is actually luminous and really beautiful, like that bounce on the cheeks. I have another one which is more matte, and I think she came out with a couple more shades. And the thing is, okay, listen, a little goes a long way. The packaging on this is also like pure genius, because honestly you just 2 dots here and blend out and you're good to go. That's the thing, and it stays on super long. That's one of the things about liquid blushes that I think people feared before, is that, oh, you need to set it and everything, and most times I don't set my liquid blush, it just stays on. And this is one of them that really stays on. If you haven't tried anything from Rare Beauty, check out their liquid blush and their highlighter. There's something in there, magic, something freaking amazing. Another product that I've really been enjoying in liquid form are highlighters. There's something about highlighters that kind of like blushes that the formula have evolved, and it's way more interesting, and you get like, of course, way more choices as well. I know that Fenty came out with their kilowatts in liquid form now, and I'm just like super duper happy, because it's truly, I would rather go liquid than powder. It's really something that I thoroughly enjoy. And one thing that I love about liquid highlighters is, like, especially nowadays, the formulas that they come out with, they're really buildable, so you can really go in really little if you want, or really go in hardcore and just be blinding everybody. And I tend to go for that more, I guess, magazine editorial type of girl. That's really, as you can see, where it's at for me. And for that, Refi, the gloss highlighter, is so freaking amazing. I will say though, I wish they had more colors, because I think that even though this is a universal color, I feel like if you have a paler complexion, this might be too golden for you. And because of the lightness of the gold in this, I feel like if you have a deeper complexion, this might be too white. However, I just love this. Best way I could describe this product is if Linda Hallberg's Infinity Glass had a baby with Rare Beauty's Liquid Touch highlighter, it will be the Refi gloss highlighter, because you really get glossy magazine wet look, but you also still get that babe highlight, that blinding all your enemies vibe. And because it's in a tubey form, I love how the pressure on it is perfect, and you can just like build it up. I always use it with my fingers actually, because it's the best way I find it applies, and it's buildable, and it's one of those highlighters that's just really easy to use, even for your like no makeup days. Just go even lighter and just blend it into the high points of your face, and you'd be good to go. And highly recommend. Just wish there were more shades out there. Setting all that, it goes without saying that the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray just stays winning, and I think especially with the panorama, just really up the ante for me in class of what a dope setting spray is, and this stays winning. Another one, however, that I think should be mentioned is the Airbrush Flawless setting spray from Charlotte Tilbury. The thing about this is just that the packaging is so bad. It tends to leak. It's really like cheap over here. There's something here where I'm like, you could put more money into your pump, we don't mind, because it's quite an expensive product. So it's unfortunate that if you ever store your things like this, you could find yourself losing a lot of products. So I just tend to store it standing back there. But apart from that, it is an amazing setting spray which does a good job at like setting all your makeup in place. But it also, like its name says, gives this airbrush film that happens with this. It's kind of like a mind bend, and it just makes your makeup stay on all day. But yeah, these two are really, really good. Highly recommend. But definitely not least, we're going to be talking about lips, and I have to talk about the, I don't know if I've talked about this before, I probably have, the Lip Cheat by Charlotte Tilbury in Iconic Nude, my all-time favorite lip liner for color of the skin of my lips. It's just freaking amazing, like especially if you want to do like the whole overline lip, you want your first color that you lay down to kind of be the same color of your lips, and then you go in like with, you know, a little darker outer line to really define all that. And this color, if you have the same color as my lips, which is not exactly this, but kind of, you're gonna love it. And the formula of it is super duper creamy. I love how it sharpens nicely as well. It's not one of those that breaks. This, especially this color, freaking amazing. If you do have other lip liners that you think I should check out, please let me know. Liner that I really love, that I keep on going for, and I think that, I don't know if this is a new one, and it's the Lip Pencil by MAC in Brick. This color just stays winning for me. MAC lip pencils are forever and always. What can I say? Another brown lip liner that I love is from MAC, and it's the color Cork. These three colors when it comes to lip liners are just my favorite, because when it comes to lipsticks, I'm usually always wearing either a gloss that's kind of like pinky, or a matte brownish nude, or a full-on creamy red lipstick. So these three for me just are like top-notch, the best. Speaking of which, my favorite lip products of 2021. First off, Gloss Bomb Fenty Beauty, but not the Fenty Glow like you would think, but the Sweet Mouth, which is pinkier color. There's something about it that just called my name more this year, and I was just like, oh, I love this. I love this color. This is like just like a little extra pop of like pink that you need. And Gloss Bomb, like, need I say more? My more like pinkish color, I would say that Pillow Talk Medium from Charlotte Tilbury is my favorite lip product that I really love. It's just a beautiful, like Pillow Talk, the normal one, like a little pinkier, but this one, I don't know, there's something about it that's, even though my own lips are a bit lighter than this, I just love this more as my kind of like go-to pinky color. For red lipstick, it goes without saying, but the Nars Bad Reputation, and there's something about a red lipstick, like yes, I love me a good matte, but I also love me like a nice, beautiful, classic blue red satiny finish red lipstick, and this one from Nars is really amazing. I did get my hands on a couple of new Nars. I think it's like a soft matte liquid lipsticks. I can't wait to try those out. Probably do a reel or something like that if you're interested. Okay, so there you have it. Those are my beauty favorites. I know that a lot of them are kind of like repeats from maybe last year or heard me talk about over and over again, but it's just truly a reflection of my, not only my purchasing habits, but also my usage habits. Because of the panorama, I'm not going out and feeling the need to, you know, buy makeup and all those things, and I just tend to use up more what I have, or even if I do purchase something, it's really something that I'm like, ooh, I'm really intrigued by it. So yeah, these are really my best of beauty 2021. I'm really happy that I actually had the chance to go away. When you're not in your home and you have only one thing, it's like, you know, if it's a make it or break it moment. And I'm so happy that all of these products ended up being true to what I believe them to be, which are, yeah, you guys are my best of beauty 2021. And I would love to know what yours were, so definitely share that with me in the comment section. I love reading your comments, and if you enjoyed this video, kindly give me a thumbs up. It really does help my channel and also lets me know that you like this kind of content. Speaking of, there are a couple of videos that just popped up on the screen, so you know, you should check them out if you haven't already, and also check me out on Instagram if you want to be more aware of what's going on. But if you don't want to, no pressure whatsoever. Definitely subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!